I think that, not just from a tax perspective, even though that's probably the most important part, especially if you're going from working a W-2 job where they take taxes out of your check every month and you never really have to worry about it, and you get a refund out of the end of the year, to making a boatload of money and going, where did it all go? Right. And not knowing where it all went and not setting aside, 10, 15, 20%, whatever it is. I really like that answer. We talk about personal finances a lot. So
well,
I like
again, it's not like people don't want to hear that. It's not the fun answer.
Yeah, it's not.
But it's a very real answer, and it's a very real thing with realtors, especially because if you pull into most parking lots of realtor offices, you're going to see all the nicest cars.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you never know. Like, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. Are you really selling, or do you just have the nice ride because you're a realtor and you think you need the nice ride? I don't know. Yeah. So
I like that. No, that's good. Okay. Well, I want to go over something that you think. So I want to talk a little bit more about BoomTown because you've been so involved in it. Not just BoomTown in general. I want to talk about the actual lead generation model of what BoomTown is, internet leads, right?
Yeah.
I think from my perspective, I love it. I really do. I think it's a great way to get business. It's not sexy. It's not those things, but I do love it. And I think it's a numbers game. And I want to get your take on it. A lot of, at least on the loan officer side, and this is for loan officers as well, is they sit there and they call 100 people a day and they might get one. Right. And that's just a part of the process. And some of them don't understand that. So what would you just kind of touch base on where you see the model today compared to when you started? Obviously, there's a lot more people on the program now. But what would you say success rate wise? Like, what would be your tips for success with the new model it is today for internet leads?
I think still the second that lead comes in, call or text.
Love it.
It's still speed to lead.
Yeah.
It's still the first person to get there. And then it's a lot of patience.
Yeah.
Because if you found out you were moving to California and went home and told your wife, y'all are going to be looking tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And so it's a lot of patience. It's a lot of just staying in contact with people.
Right.
I don't think that has really changed that much because, and it's being genuine.
Yeah.
Like acting like you really care.
Right.
And not thinking you're going to call this person and they're going to be ready to go.
Okay,
bye.
Sure. Yeah.
Because most internet leads are still 6 months, maybe a year out.
Yeah.
When we're not on BoomTown anymore, but we had people that had been on for like 10 years.
Wow.
And we'd be like, this person's on the site all the time. And then finally they would buy something.
Wow.
And some of them you never hear from.
Yeah.
So you can't be offended. You can't make up a narrative that they don't want to talk to you. They probably don't want to talk right now, but when they're ready, they will talk.
Yeah.
So
and that's that's the game that we play, as loan officers. Is our end goal, just like your end goal to get clients, is we need to go out and get real estate agents, right? We need to go out and provide value to those agents. And so, it always does feel like we're bothering y'all with, hey, let's do a coffee, let's do this, let's do that. And it's so weird. It's like, I think every loan officer training program, or even realtor to a certain extent, is like, just go get a coffee with them and they'll send you business. It's like, it's not how it works, guys. Like you have to come from a value proposition. And I think it works the same way on these internet leads, is if you sit there and you sound down in the dumps because you've called 99 people and you're like, hello, this is, Holden, I just want to see if you want to buy a house. They're never going to do that. You have to have the upbeat voice, the upbeat energy. I'm here to serve you. What do you need? I saw you were looking. We're just here to help. Whatever your script might be. I think a lot of people don't hone in on that. That first impression is so important, and how fast you get to that first impression is so important.
Yeah, because the best thing is when people are like, "Oh my gosh, I just signed up."
Yeah.
And you're already calling.
Exactly. What in the world?
And then the ones you can't reach, just keep trying and try at different times of day, because what if they have a job that they can't answer the phone during the day? So stay curious. Again, don't write the script of what's going on in your head, and just keep at it, because really all these years, if you look back at how I've done what I've done, it's all about the consistency.
Yeah, and having very good follow-up and very good systems, because as many leads as you generate through an internet lead, like, you're going to have a very systematic process
Very.
And almost labeling them, these are A's, these are B's, these are C's. I've called this person, at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, those didn't work. Now I got to call them at 6, 7, and 8. I mean, you have to be very systematic, and unfortunately a lot of people won't put in that effort to get there.
And that's one good thing about BoomTown, because it does most of that work for you. Because I don't know if you're still on it, but it does it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
It categorizes, it tells you when to call, it sends texts for you. But I think one of the biggest things that a lot of realtors don't want to do, which is insane, they don't want to pick up the phone and call. Like, just pick up the phone and call.
And you can't teach it.
You can't.
I genuinely, after talking to so many people, I literally think you're born with being okay of talking to people, or how you're raised. I don't know how to put it, but
no, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's a personality thing.
We've had a lot of agents over the years, and I hired one guy, and I remember like training him, and we'd sit down, and I'd be like, okay, pick up the phone and call. Yeah. And it felt mean almost. Right. But I'm like, get on the phone and call. Yeah. And that's one of those things too, though, that I think after you do for so long, you get comfortable being uncomfortable. Yep. And I've been uncomfortable a lot doing real estate because of maybe some conversations or going into homes and being like, how am I going to sell this place? Like, what am I going to do?
And keeping it to yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. But I've learned some good tricks for that as well. Good.
Yeah. Well, I love that. Last couple of things. So you and I have done some business together over the years, and I know that you've sent me some very sweet thank you texts and very sweet things, and I just want to thank you for supporting us. What's one reason that you work with us over maybe someone else, and just things that we do better than some out there for our audience to know that doesn't work with us?
Well, first off, it started with your dad.
Yeah.
I knew your dad for years, and he was wonderful. Yeah. And honestly, when you first started selling, because I think you're younger than my son.
I'm 24.
And, you never seemed it.
Yeah, thank you.
So you were really young, and I would be like, I think Holden's actually like quite a couple of years younger than Griffin. Yeah. And you always were so confident, and you carried yourself as an adult, not as a kid who's not like a nepo baby or whatever. You didn't carry yourself that way at all. Yeah. And
thank you.
I appreciated that. And you asked me for the business because I also think not a lot of people ask me for business anymore, because even like title companies, like recently I've had some reaching out, but a lot of them will be like, well, we know you use so-and-so, and so we're just not going to rock that boat. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I'm open to working with a lot of different people. Yeah. And so I think on your end, knowing, don't get in your head, like she's not going to work with me.
It's worth
because
a shot.
You were young, and I'd been in the business for a long time, and I gave you a shot, and you did a great job.
Yeah, thank you.
Even so much that I usually give people 2 or 3 names, and one family, it was maybe a year ago or 18 months ago, came back on the back end, and they were just like, we loved Holden. Yeah. Thank you so much for referring Holden. Good. Like the other person you sent us couldn't like get it all together, and like and you closed early. Yeah. Or you've never been late on closing.
Ever.
Which you know that realtors
absolutely
that's like
get you paid on time. Yep.
Well, yeah, I mean it's a domino effect.
It is. Yeah.
And you don't want that for your clients, especially if I'm telling someone Holden's good. He's going to take good care of you. You're going to get the best rate you can with him. He's going to call you. He's got a great team. Right. And you go do all of those things, because if I do that and you drop the ball, they're not only mad at you, they're mad at me too.
Well, so, I've always told people that we are a literal direct reflection of you, because you're putting your name on the line by giving us a shot. And my dad used to say, we do things better than we said we were going to do them. Yes. So when I sit there and I tell you I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and then I do that, but 10 times better than I said I was going to do it, it's hard to beat, right? Yes. And that's what we try to, push. And for agents out there that aren't working out, with us currently, you'll have relationships, we get that. Yeah. But it's worth a shot, because I think it's really eye-opening for some people to see how we operate and how well we do things. And so I really appreciate those words, Amy. That means a lot.
I I don't know, years I've sent business to you guys. I've got a few people that, different lenders that I've got relationships with. Right. But I always know if somebody is going to work with you that it's going to get done.
It's going to get done.
Yeah.
Good.
And your dad was the same way.
Yeah. So flowing into that, my legacy is my father, right? And I am not my father by any means. I am my own person, and we do things honestly completely different. But that's my legacy. And so for you, I think it's so important, especially in our business, because, our last name is really important in this business because people start to get it. And then if your son or daughter, whoever wants to carry on later on, legacy is important. And so if you had to say, what would be your legacy and what do you want to leave behind, when Amy is no longer here and, is with Jesus in heaven, what are those things that you want to leave behind?
So really it has nothing to do with business.
Yeah,
and
I love
I
that.
thought that it would early on because my husband and I are both very entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
And we've raised these kids who were like, they're going to want to work with us. They're going to want to sell real estate or do whatever. Yeah. And they want nothing to do with it. Yeah. They talk a lot. We talked about, they want the work-life balance. Yeah. And then I'm like, maybe we weren't good examples of that when they were young.
Yeah.
I always picked them up from school, but the nature of real estate is you're working a lot. So a few years ago, I really kind of honed into what does legacy mean.
Yeah.
And it means family.
It does. Yeah.
It means memories. It means for us creating those memories, traveling with our kids, just being there. Yeah. So it's more about home, and teaching them. It's like with kids, you start as a parent, you're parenting, then they get a little older, and we're kind of coaching. Yeah. So we're almost out of those coaching years with our youngest. We're completely out with our oldest. Like he's grown and flown, and we're just like friends now. We hang out,
and that's the best. I mean, it really is.
It is because you're there too.
Yeah, yeah.
So we still got one more that we're still kind of coaching. Yeah. And so really, the legacy is what they're going to be. Yeah. And I just hope that they're able to look back and have these good memories. One of the things when I was honing in on that, I kept getting like a vision. We love Colorado. Yeah. And so like. My husband's dad's happy place was Colorado, and we grew up going there. And a few years ago, I was like, "What if we could? Part of this legacy is get a place in Colorado." Yeah. And we were both like, "No, there's no way we can do that." And then we were just like, "Yeah, we're gonna do it."
Yeah, do it.
And so it was envisioning like the Christmas morning with the snow, and the house,
memories,
and the dogs, and then somewhere that hopefully grandkids and. Everybody can go and just kind of, it's not about like a material object. It's more just the memories. And we did that. So we made that come true. Like
that's so awesome.
3 years ago. And the very first Christmas we were all there. And I was like, this is the best. I cannot believe we're actually here.
Yeah. And I think, yes, Jeff was in the business, I was in the business, and it's just naturally, that's what a legacy, is my legacy in a sense. But I think I'm a prime example of it's not what you do while you're in this life, it's what you leave behind, right? And I'm a shining example of that. And so many people come up to me and say, "You're just like your dad. You do these things just like your father." And I love those comments, I really do. And it brings joy to me to know that from a business perspective, I'm continuing, what he started, and that's part of my life.
I'll say, like your dad. We did business together, but even when I think of him, I don't think of the business. I think of how he made everyone around him feel. Yeah. And you are like that.
Thank
because
you.
he would come into a room. He always had those glasses on his head.
On his head, yeah.
But he had that energy and that kindness.
Right.
And that's what I remember about your dad. And you're the same way.
Thank
you.
So
y'all both kind of have a light about you.
Yeah, we sure do try. Well, Amy, that was so awesome. I covered everything that I wanted to. If you don't have anything else to add, I think we'll wrap this up.
Nice.
Guys, thank y'all so much for coming. This was by far one of my favorite episodes so far, so thank you again. All of you that need to get a hold of me, you know how to. My contact information will be below. Amy's contact information will be below as well. Check her out on all social media in the greater San Antonio area for all of your real estate needs as well. For those of you that need to contact me, please text me or call me at 210-844-8468. Again, Holden Hamilton with GFS Home Loans. Amy Carter, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yep, of course.
This was fun.
Thanks, guys.